There are tons of Jedi and Sith that do not get enough love in the Star Wars fanbase, and Shaak Ti is definitely one of them. For today's video, I would like to go more in depth on the powers and lightsaber skills of Shaak Ti, and why I believe in the Star Wars fanbase she is one of the most underrated characters in terms of her skill with the lightsaber and within the Force. In fact, I would put Shaak Ti on the level of great Jedi such as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and maybe even approaching the skill of Jedi Dooku. Let's begin with her skill with the lightsaber. Shaak Ti was the master of Form 2 and Form 4 lightsaber combat, Form 2 Makashi being a form focused on blade work and skill. The same form in fact that Count Dooku used over his time as both a Jedi and a Sith Lord. Amazingly so, Yoda would even say that Shaak Ti was approaching the skill of Count Dooku in Form 2 Makashi towards the end of her life. A feat that was hugely amazing, as Count Dooku was considered the greatest Makashi master maybe of all time, and especially of his era. In a lightsaber duel, Shaak Ti was described as one of the most graceful Jedi again Yoda had ever seen. In her Legends duel with Galen Marek, she was in fact one of the only lightsaber duelists that were able to best him, something that even the Sith Lord and lightsaber master Darth Vader struggled with. This is amazing, as the only two individuals to ever best Starkiller in lightsaber combat were Darth Vader and Shaak Ti, one of which trained with him his entire life. What makes Shaak Ti even more impressive is she was not slave to these two lightsaber forms. Shaak Ti was well versed in all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, including the ferocity form Juyo. In Legends, General Grievous outright refused to duel Shaak Ti, as he was nervous that he would lose to her. Thus, why when he tried to capture Chancellor Palpatine, he used electrified cables instead to defeat the Jedi Master, as he was nervous what the outcome would be if they engaged each other blade to blade. Going back to her duel with Galen Marek and Starkiller even revealed that he had to rely on his Force abilities to defeat and kill Shaak Ti, because essentially at the end of their duel, Shaak Ti had already defeated him, and Galen Marek realized that he was out of his league in skill with the lightsaber, thus why he was forced to ragdoll her using his use of the dark side. Concerning her use and powers in the Force, Shaak Ti used an ability that was extremely uncommon for any Force wielder. Shaak Ti was extremely connected with nature and her environment. At some points, she literally felt a part of it through its connection with her and the Force. To explain it in this way, one of the major reasons why Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to defeat Anakin Skywalker was because Skywalker lost all track of his surroundings and environment on Mustafar. Shaak Ti was the polar opposite. She was extremely dangerous because she knew where everything was in proximity to her. Through the Force, she could feel tiny bends in the environment and the smallest of crevices. Shaak Ti was so skilled that she could literally use the Force to manipulate the environment around her, changing it at will on a molecular level. This is why, as in the Jedi Council members during the Clone Wars that sat upon the Jedi Council, personally, I would put Shaak Ti in the top 3. In Legends, I would also say that Shaak Ti would be one of the closest Jedi that could come to defeating Darth Vader in blade-to-blade combat. We've actually even seen Shaak Ti use her lightsabers and the Force in conjunction with one another. On several occasions, she has knocked her opponents off their feet by plunging her lightsabers into the ground and using the Force to move the soil, sending tremors of the light side through it. But in my opinion, what makes Shaak Ti really special is despite all of her accomplishments in combat, this was never her first option. Rarely for a Jedi, Shaak Ti used a blue lightsaber while being considered a Jedi consular. In most cases, if a Jedi chose to be a consular, they would wield a green blade. Being a consular indicated that Shaak Ti focused more on the studies of the Force rather than its combative gifts. She was also considered the most skilled diplomat on the entire Jedi Council, maybe even only rivaled by Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Shaak Ti was described as someone, despite being an extremely powerful and skilled lightsaber duelist, that would much rather spar with her words than with a lightsaber. She was also quite often very quiet, and only rarely spoke during Jedi Council meetings. Therefore, when she did, it was completely silent and everyone took note. It is for all of these reasons that Shaak Ti is one of my favorite Jedi in all of Star Wars. An individual who is not very boisterous, but still exceptionally powerful. One of the most powerful Jedi in all of Star Wars, that is. But leave your own thoughts on Jedi Master Shaak Ti in the comments down below. and tell me, is she one of your favorite Jedi? And did you learn anything new about Shaak Ti in this video? Also, let me know in the comments below some of your favorite underrated Jedi.